Well, hello. Welcome in, guys. Legal Wars Live. We going live this morning, of course. You see your boy, Big Ghostwriter. We doing a special today, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are watching this after it was pre-recorded, when y'all come in, make sure y'all double tap the screen for me. Like the video. If you guys have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. You know what I'm saying? That being said, we're going to be talking about the Trump Doctrine, how President Trump deals with world conflicts. I got a couple news stories. We're going to first start talking about what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, how close President Trump is to getting a peace deal with that. And then we're going to get into what President Trump's doctrine is. So, guys, as I said, as y'all come in, please double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Give me about 60 seconds. You guys enjoy that lake view behind me out here, Legal Wars Live. From the state of Michigan, Ghostwriter Special. You guys will see y'all in the stream. Make sure y'all like the video for me. I hope you guys stay and hang out. Jump down in the comments. Say hello. Say good morning. We're going to get into the news topic today. We got a great story. Very informative. Y'all give me 60 seconds. Well, all my newcomers, welcome in. Good morning. Legal Wars Live. Make sure y'all double tap that screen for me. Like the video, need some support. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I see Extreme Bike Bills says my mother and father were born in the Ukraine and migrated here years ago, but it's sad to see everything going down between Russia and Ukraine. I think that would be great for you to stay in the stream and discuss this with us. It is very sad, man. What's sad to me to see is the loss of life. And I think that's what President Trump is trying to address. I mean, if Vladimir Putin had a problem with Ukraine and people who were former, you know what I'm saying, or who are really Russian nationalists or former Russian citizens or Soviet citizens or however complicated, that's a very complicated situation is. And the reason why we're standing with Ukraine is because we promote democratic principles. So I'm saying that's a complicated situation. Extreme Bite Bills, I'm glad you in here. I hope you guys have liked the video, guys. Thank you. Y'all, please continue to double tap your screen. Just double tap your screen. Need those likes up. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Harry Muff says, situation from Planet Zbor. So, guys, the Trump Doctrine, how President Trump deals with conflicts in the world. So, guys, I'm going to start off with the introduction. Welcome to Legal Wars Live, our brand new streams on tour. This is the third year, you know what I'm saying? So we started the year January through March through the great state of Texas. almost every city. I did 6 interviews, recorded We the People, which is uploaded now to YouTube if you guys want to go check it out. Then in March, I went to the Biloxi on the beach where I'm from, spent time with my moms. At the end of May, I went to North Carolina. I recorded 2 vlogs, the 3rd version of The Pardon and the 4th version of Discovery of Passion. Both of those are uploaded to YouTube. You guys could go check it out. Went back to Biloxi for a few weeks or whatever. And then July 15th, I headed to Tennessee for 3 weeks to record We the People 2, which is also available on YouTube. So guys, I've been traveling a lot this year, a lot of great content available for you guys to see on YouTube. On that same Tennessee tour, which means this is the 35th day of the tour total, I headed to Illinois, stayed for 4 days, and then the Illinois trip in Chicago, of course. Then I crossed over to Indiana, went to the Indiana Dunes National Park, went to Notre Dame and South Bend. After those 4 days, then I went to Michigan. Man, I've been out here in Michigan ever since, about 11 days. I spent 7 days on Lake Michigan jumping from beach to beach, you know what I'm saying? Man, that being said, guys, I think we through with all of that, you know, the introduction, let you guys know it's some great content I've been recording, boots on the ground, talking to the people in these different states. You see what I'm saying? I touched 12 states this year, guys. Legal Wars Live, we've been doing this since September. In the last 6 months of this year, I touched 8 months, excuse me. I touched 12 states, 7 months. I get it right. I touched 12 states, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've done so many interviews, so much great content available for you guys to watch on YouTube. Independent, man, authentic. When I do an interview, I never tell the people the questions, anything like that. No microphones, nothing. Raw content, man. So I got a good idea as an independent of what the American people think. You know what I'm saying? That being said, the source for today's news is The Independent, and it was published on August the 19th. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, like the video. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I see Lee is that NFFC. He says, good day to you. Good day to you too, sir. Please like the video for me, guys. So let's get into the content. The Trump Doctrine. We're going to start off talking about the situation with Russia and Ukraine, because I think that's so prevalent to what President Trump's doctrine is, okay? So President Trump, this is The Independent, August the 19th. President Trump has hinted that the U.S. may provide Ukraine air support as part of a package of security guarantees to end the war with Russia. That's the goal. While the U.S. president has ruled out sending U.S. boots on the ground, he told Fox News, and I quote, when it comes to security, this is doctrine. Listen, the doctrine we're looking for is, how does President Trump view the world stage? I promise I have not read this news article, but we're going to dive into it, okay? So this is President Trump in his own words. He says, when it comes to security, Europeans are willing to put people on the ground. We're willing to help them with things, especially probably by air. European leaders yesterday discussed the details of how a peacekeeping force will be deployed from roughly 10 countries, according to Bloomberg, one day after their high-stakes talk in the White House. If you guys do not know that the Ukrainian leader, Zelenskyy, and the European nations, 10 countries, okay, they came to the White House and talked to President Trump. The day before President Trump talked to the Russian President Vladimir Putin. What's the goal, Ghostwriter? The Ghostwriter is to bring peace. Why do we care, Ghostwriter? We care because thousands, weekly, every week, bro, less than 4 years, over 1.2 million people have died in that war. The reason why Europe cares is because the Ukrainians have the biggest army in Europe, and they're standing up to Russia's aggression. You see what I'm saying? That's why Europe cares. because Ukraine is a part of Europe. You see what I'm saying? That's like if Russia was attacking Mexico, why would America care? I mean, you on our back door, you on our back step. So if from me looking at this, I can't really tell you much about the Trump doctrine because he's saying the Europeans are willing to. You know what I'm saying? President Trump, we know he is all for Europe standing up on their own too, which I think, in my personal opinion, Europe should be able to. Why haven't Europe? Look, Europe has the money. They have the resources. Together, the European Union, the landmass is probably like the fifth, if not bigger in the world in land area. So everything is there. They have the population. Everything is there for Europe with Ukraine to be able to stand up against Russian aggression. That's President Trump's worldview. You guys make sure y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you guys have not already, you guys know you could donate at any time to the channel. Just hit the button with the $sign below and your donations are much appreciated. We're trying to get those donations up. Also, guys, channel memberships start at $2.99. Same button, $sign in it. Guys, hit that. Donations are much appreciated. Make sure y'all double tap that screen. We need to get those likes up as well. Jaldo says, you don't understand. The Russians are not going to allow European troops, and the Europeans are not going into Ukraine without America guaranteeing they will come to their aid at once. Well, I don't think there's any kind of question, Jaldo, that the United States will come to. I mean, are you familiar with NATO and the NATO alliance? So, look, I'm gonna pin his comments. He's saying that France needs a guarantee, okay? Because you're talking about all of the European nations. We finna have a world war. He's saying that France needs a guarantee from the United States. Ukraine is not a part of NATO, so they need security guarantees, sir. France don't need a security guarantee. If they get into a war, America automatically will be brought into the war. Do we need to have the history lesson? Do we remember 9/11? How many times can someone tell me? I got the computer up, so I'm going to look it up if we want to debate it. But can somebody tell me how many times have a NATO alliance country been attacked? Let's look it up. Okay? How many times has a NATO country been attacked? How many times have a NATO country been attacked? Because I'm going to tell you, sir, I could do the research for you, but there's no sense in doing the research because we got a lot of content to go over. But France, England, Germany, all those 10 nations, they're in NATO. They don't need a security alliance. They already have a security with the United States already. You see what I'm saying? That's why we even having this conversation. NATO has not been directly attacked by any member country. However, NATO has intervened in conflicts when member countries were involved, such as the Bosnia War and the Kosovo War. Y'all must forget. You talking about NATO, boy. North Atlantic Treaty Alliance. That's what we're talking about. Has a NATO country ever been attacked? This is according to Calendar Canada, because we know that if us as Americans, we know the answer to this. Us as Americans, we know the answer to this. The North Atlantic Treaty, also referred to as the Washington Treaty, you feel me, is the treaty that forms the legal basis of and is implemented by the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, which was signed in Washington, D.C. on April 4th, 1949. That establishes the world order. Okay? Article 5 provides that if a NATO ally, which is France, which is Germany, which is, okay, so you gotta understand now. So Putin knows this. When he talking to the Europeans, he talking to the Americans too. He understands that. So he got his hands full when he start shooting at European troops. He gonna start a world war. Let me keep going though. Stay in the stream, J-Dog. Article 5 provides that a NATO ally is the victim of an armed attack, each and every other member of the alliance will consider this act of violence as an armed attack against all members and will take the actions it deems necessary to assist the ally attack. America was attacked before, man. We know that. We talking about since the NATO alliance, and what happened? How many member nations went to fight with America in the first Gulf War? Let's look it up. How many nations fought against Iraq in first Gulf War? Let's look it up. Oh, it's the second Gulf War, right? Because the first Gulf War, only 39 nations. 39 nations against you behind America. America could beat you by themselves. In the second Gulf War, which lasted from 1990 to 1991, a coalition of 35 to 39 nations. Now watch this. How many nations in NATO? How many nations in NATO? 32 members. So what we looking at is when one of the NATO member alliances was attacked, which includes France, which includes all 10 of them nations who's standing with Ukraine. When one of them was attacked, it's only 32 nations in NATO, but 35 to 39 nations stood with America. That's what you got to realize. And that's what Vladimir knows. If he want to start killing European troops, America's going to get dragged into that conflict. So the question, Jaw Dog, what you should be asking yourself, does it serve President Trump's interests, the American people's interests? Because we're going to end up dragged into that conflict. Does it serve our interests? That's the question. We're going to go over some key points, guys. If y'all just came in, the news story we're going over is from The Independent. It was wrote yesterday, published yesterday, 8/19. You guys in the stream, make sure y'all double tap the screen. If y'all have not, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Also, guys, channel memberships are $2.99. Hit that button below with the $sign in it, and your donations, your memberships are much appreciated. So we going over key points from the article. Zelenskyy Putin meeting better without me, says President Trump. Man, I don't know about that. I'm going to trust President Trump, though. I'm going to kind of trust him on that. But President Trump, I don't think that Zelenskyy and Putin meeting together with, listen, first of all, Vladimir, he doesn't even look at Zelenskyy as a real leader of Ukraine. That's the first problem. So President Trump said, hey, well, I done negotiated and got him sitting at a table with him, so maybe he recognizing him, maybe so. That's why I said I'm going to trust President Trump. Second of all, man, in my opinion, I think in order for President Trump to continue to exude leadership, I said my opinion. So this is my analysis. This is my opinion. Because you cannot say that he has not put up effort, regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum. You cannot say he has not put up the effort to end all world conflicts, even ones that we don't even discuss that could have been. Not just him, Marco, not just him, JD. They all are. They working like cats and dogs, bruh, day and night. So if President Trump says Zelenskyy and Putin better without me, maybe he feels he knows something that I don't know. That's what I don't speak. That's why I'm not speaking on it. And I'm saying I'm trusting him. But what I'm saying, it just seems like to me, my opinion, that the leadership, President Trump, they need your leadership. They need it. It's necessary leadership between them two jokers. Okay? So President Trump backs foreign boots and air support for Ukraine. President Trump, key point, I agree with you 1,000%. Most definitely. What it's looking like to me is Europe is standing 10 toes. You know, we heard Vice President Vance speak about the Europeans not being historically strong militarily, but it looked like as far as this is concerned, they're standing up to Vladimir and they're saying, hey, Ukraine is a part of Europe. We're behind Ukraine. Chill out. I think that's a tough hole for Vladimir to roll. I'm just letting you know. I'm not trying to be a poet. I'm just telling you I do in a lot of ways. Who he going to do business with economically if he goes to war with Europe? Who he doing business with? China? Who else he doing business with? He ain't doing business with America. What's the largest economies in the world? The NATO nations. What's the richest nations in the world? Guys, I'm going to stop guessing and I'm going to be more precise with my information and I'm going to let you know. So let's look it up. What is the richest nations on earth? Let's look it up. Because I want to know. My question is who are you going to do business with, Mr. Putin, if you start firing bullets at European troops, if they choose to go that route? So the richest nations in the world, we got Luxembourg, Singapore, Qatar, Ireland, Norway. Once we got to Ireland and Norway, I don't think under President Trump's administration, I know Singapore ain't doing business with. I know Qatar ain't doing business with, not under this president's administration. Ireland, that's NATO. Norway, that's NATO. Switzerland, that's NATO. United States, that's NATO. Denmark, that's NATO. You get the point? We talking about the richest. I'm talking about pure money. I'm talking about black market, on market, whatever market. Who you doing business with, Vladimir? If you want to look at the nations by GDP, let's do by GDP. The richest nations by GDP. Let's look by GDP. Okay? Let's look by GDP. We're going to say Ghost, he trying to be all like trying to say, black market, they be doing business on the black market. Yeah, that's what happened. If you need to make money, and they put a trade embargo on Russia, and you've been getting all your money from Russia, the richest nations on earth by GDP, this is the list y'all was looking for. Number 1 is America, of course. Number 2 is China. So he got a chance. The second largest GDP on earth is China. Uh-oh, Putin. You got a chance. You could keep doing business and get money. You start firing at European troops. But let's keep going. Number 3 is Germany, NATO. Number 4 is India. They rhyme with President Trump. I promise you, against Russia. I promise you. Number 5 is Japan. Number 6 is the United Kingdom, NATO. 7, France, NATO. 8, Italy, NATO. 9, Canada, NATO. Number 10, Brazil. And number 11 is Russia. Oh, it's a chance. Russia got the 11th economy in the world. They got Brazil and China to do business with, Ghost. Brazil and China, that's all you got? Because let's keep going. Number 12 is Spain. Guess what, baby? We back in it. NATO! You feel me? 13, South Korea. Who is Russia going to do business with? That's the question. Putin, you got to think about that. If you start shooting at European troops, if you saying, Europe ain't going to put troops on the ground, you sure about that? Ain't nobody could be sure about that or factual about that. I think that they will. I think they standing firm in their views against Putin. And then if Europe is there, America don't have to be there, but they in the background. I can promise you, that's our brothers. NATO. Putin don't want that. China is not coming to his aid. I can promise you. Brazil is not coming to his aid. They're gonna get utterly destroyed. So it's like you got a couple choices to make, Vladimir. I'm giving y'all his options when he looking at the chessboard. We gonna get to President Trump's doctrine. But that's why I told President Trump, he ain't finna use no nuclear weapon. That boy ain't got that many options. He don't want to be extinct from the earth. He trying to live. He not gonna use no nuke, man, unless he feel he absolutely have to. So if that's the case, he got the 11th economy in the world. We just looked at it. His military has been decimated to the point where he's using North Korean troops. He already know he ain't taking Kyiv, bro. It's been 48 hours, 48 hours, went to 48 days, went to 48, be 48 years, buddy. It's not happening. So what we gonna do? The Independent says that President Trump amidst Putin might not be interested in ending the Ukrainian war. Putin, if you do not end that war, it will be the end of you politically. 10,000%. The end of you political. Because I'm saying, how long we going to fight this war? You don't have more money than the Europeans. You want to get the list back? Your economy is number 11th in the world. The Chinese economy, listen, let me explain the discrepancies between number one and number two. So you don't understand. So you don't get when you seeing like you see, oh, okay, the BRICS, Russian allies, you say the Russian allies, they got how many people they got with them, the Russian allies. Let's look again real quick. The Russia and their allies, in the top 10, they say they got 3 nations: China, Brazil, and Russia. In the top 15, they still got 3 nations. Let's go down to the top 20. In the top 20, they still got 3 nations. Some of the nations in the top 20 is starkly opposed to them, like Poland, number 20. Saudi Arabia ain't with them. Mexico ain't going with you. Australia ain't going with you. Turkey, they trying to negotiate peace, but they not riding with you. You see what I'm saying? Listen, let's do this. What I said we was going to look up. Let's look at the difference between the American economy and the Chinese economy. Let's say, what does the average American make per week? Let's look it up. Y'all know what y'all think. The average American makes per week. The average American median weekly wage is $1,194 US dollars. I gotta say US dollars because y'all say 1,194 pesos, you might end up with $5 US dollars. Yeah, the almighty American dollar. That is correct. The average, let's say it one more time, American make $1,200 a week. Okay, let's say how much the average Chinese person make per week. I want to show y'all something. The average Chinese person make per week. What y'all say? The average Chinese person makes per week. What y'all say? $29,300 yuan or won per week. How much? Per week, how much? Y'all say, come on. I'll tell you per year, $16,600. So the average American per year is making $61,000 and the average Chinese is making $16,000 American dollars. Not Chinese, $120,698 yuan per year. But you take $120,698, what's supposed to, that's their dollars, what's supposed to be their dollars, why? And you bring it to America, you only getting $16,000. So when Putin is looking at the almighty American economy, not only American economy, he looking at the American military, how he saw America drop them bombs in Iran. America got weapons that no one else in the world got. When he looking at that chessboard, and I see my boy Jaw Dahl says that America is playing the background. That's what he's saying. President Trump is playing the background, and Americans need the U.S. That's not how that works. Go ask the U.S. military. The U.S. military ain't going to say that because we have an agreement, a treaty with these nations. You attack one, you attack all. So if France is in it, America is in it. If England is in it, America is in it. You got to look at the chessboard appropriately or you're going to get utterly destroyed. Messing with the richest, the money in the entire world. That's what NATO is. It's the money. They running things. Economy-wise, that's why America's so strong, President Trump. That's why you can't go against the Europeans. You need them. That's your brothers. I'm saying, listen, okay, you want me to break it down? How I need to break it down? Putin looking at this chessboard, you ain't got too many moves. It don't matter what it don't, because President Trump is bound by that NATO alliance agreement. That's how politics gets so complicated. It don't matter what a politician's saying until he put his hand on that Bible and he start looking at them generals, and that generals explain that to him, that he's bound by that NATO alliance agreement. So when Macron start talking, you got to listen to him. Because if he's saying he want to jump in that war, that means all 32 nations. Y'all want to read the 32 nations that's got to fight? What are NATO's member nations? NATO members. Let's look at NATO members. Albania, they coming. They might be small, President T, but they coming. Belgium, they coming. You can use their airspace. You could use their money. It's a lot of benefits you could get for them. Bulgaria, they coming. Canada, they coming. President Trump, yeah, you want to make them another state. You got to get off your brothers. You can't do your brothers like that. Croatia, they coming. Czech Republic, man, that's pretty much Russia. That is Russia. That's the heart of Russia. Prague, Czech Republic, and Ukraine outside of Moscow. Prague and Kyiv were two cities in the Soviet Union that was like the pride of the Soviet Union. Y'all don't understand the history. Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, all these nations coming, boy. Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, I don't even halfway. Where that? And I know a lot. Lithuania, Luxembourg, Montenegro, Netherlands, North Macedonia. I see why these nations joined NATO, because they really dependent on America's military. You know what I'm saying? They really rich, small countries. Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Turkey, the United Kingdom, the United States. Come on, man. You don't want beef with that. That's what Putin gonna have to deal with. Y'all make sure y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, guys. I see y'all got them comments jumping this morning. We need to get them likes up, guys. Channel memberships, y'all. I remember we had 63 channel members, guys, trying to get them channel members up. $2.99, and we appreciate all of you guys' donations. If you guys want your comment read, or if you guys would like to start your own conversation off of what I've said, you can hit that button below with the $sign in it, the super chat, super thanks, super stickers. They start at 99 cents. And once again, your donations are much appreciated. So this story comes from the Independent, August 19th, yesterday. So we just going over key points. Okay. So what could U.S. and Europe security guarantees look like for Ukraine? What is a security guarantee? If such and such happens, we got your back. What could it look like? I could tell, listen, people saying that President Trump, look, he's the undisputed leader in the whole situation. You see his leadership throughout. He's trying to get the leaders together, okay? This is what I'm saying. U.S. and Europe security guarantees, I think Zelenskyy played this situation very well, because he sold the idea that President Putin didn't just want Kyiv. He wanted to keep going all the way through Ukraine. He got the Europeans scared, and he got the Europeans on his side. Once he got the Europeans on his side, he got the Americans, because the NATO alliance. You just got to know how to look at the chessboard and make the moves. And I think Zelenskyy did that well. You saw the blow up between President Trump and Zelenskyy in the White House. And what happened? He went right there over to the Europeans, and they started cuddling them. And after the Europeans cuddled them, what happened? United Kingdom, their prime minister, he went to the White House and talked to President Trump. And then there you go. Here they come, the Europeans. 10 nations. And who you see with them all the time? They war dog, Zelenskyy. Zelenskyy, they war dog. You say what you want to about Zelenskyy, bro. You gotta have respect for that boy. Stood all 10 up against the red, the powerful red. We thought Big Red was gonna fight, is good enough to fight against America, but we see without them nuclear weapons, Big Red ain't nothing. They can't beat Ukraine without them nuclear weapons. They'll struggle against any rugged nation like that. Ukraine is rugged. That's why Russia wants Ukraine. The troops, those are warriors. So yeah, Ukraine is the brightest, the strongest, the toughest. Zelenskyy is they big dog. You see what I'm saying? When this conflict is over, listen to me, y'all. When this conflict is over, and America wants Ukraine to stand on all 10, President Trump, there's some wisdom now. Listen, President Trump should understand that he wants Ukraine there and strong. Ukraine is going to be the biggest, strongest, most experienced army in Europe. So Ukraine and European security goes hand in hand. So why wouldn't we want that? Listen, so President Trump is saying this. This is what he's saying. He's saying that he wants the Europeans to be dependent or self-dependent, right? Isn't that what he's saying? Ukraine has, let's look it up. I told you we're not going to do this. Let's look it up. Because I be hearing stuff. I hear a news story on CNN. I hear reporters say that one time, and I remember. And let's see if I'm right. Because I heard them say, reporters say Ukraine had the biggest army in Europe. That makes sense. I didn't have to fact check that. The Bible says truth is begotten of her children. When I heard that, that makes, because why is Europe going so hard for Ukraine? Besides, they're a part of Ukraine. There's been a bunch of countries that have come under attack that Europe hasn't went as hard as they are going to protect Ukraine. Why are they doing that? Let's look it up. Biggest armies in Europe. Because we know that they got the most experience and we know they strong. We know that Ukrainian army strong. They just didn't have the money. But they got the money in London. They got the money in Paris. They got the money in Berlin. They super rich. So you just pay the Ukrainians and they'll be your muscle. And that way, he's saying America don't have to always come and, you know what I'm saying? We could back off and spend our military expenditures if we have strong partners in those regions. And President Trump, we could see now that Ukraine is like Israel. They are a strong partner to stand 10 in that region against Russia. We see they could do that. So President Trump, if you see they could do that, why wouldn't you want them to succeed? It don't make no sense. You put your bases there. You put your hardware there, and you don't have to put your men there. You put your intelligence and your communication. And basically, Ukraine just becomes a Japan. It just becomes another wing of America, the American empire. What we looking at, y'all? Sorry, I got sidetracked. Y'all make sure y'all double tap that screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. What are the biggest armies in Europe? Who want to make a guess? What's the list? Number one. Who want to say? Let's see what we got. List. Number 37. That's a NATO nation. Hold on. Luxembourg. Let's see how many troops they got. Total military personnel, 1,000. Yeah, they're going to be in NATO because America is protecting them from being completely destroyed. I mean, these countries, they don't have no kind of forces, bro. We got to skip down to like number one. Them boys got only 620,000 people in their country, though. And they super rich. Okay, so let's go to number one. Y'all know who the number one military in Ukraine is? That's why Ghostwriter don't even be fact-checking a lot of time, because I could have just said that and we could have kept going with the news. Because I know I'm right. Total active military personnel, 2 million, 2.2 million Ukraine army. That thing about half the size of America's, right? or third. Active personnel, 1 million soldiers. Reserves, 1.2 million. Paramilitary, 100,000. Total population, 35 million. Fit for service, 12 million. World rank, Ukraine is ranked 20th out of 145 nations. I'm going to give y'all this source so y'all can look this up for yourself, because I know what I'm talking about. This is 24/7 Wall Street, and it was published on March of 2025. Y'all go look it up. Ukraine got the biggest military in Europe. So yes, of course, it would make sense for America, for President Trump's doctrine of trying to let the Ukraine and Vice President Vance's doctrine of trying to let the Europeans stand up on their own. Let's just get them through this conflict. And after that, they understand what they need to do. And Ukraine to be their muscle. You know what I'm saying? So what? This is the independent news, y'all. President Zelenskyy said he's ready to talk to Trump and Putin to end the war in Ukraine. President Zelenskyy said he's ready to talk. Putin suggests Moscow as potential meeting grounds. I think Putin kind of scared to leave Russia, y'all. First of all, you think that's funny. First of all, he's on the International Criminal Court. Like he a convict, they'll arrest him if he go to the wrong nation. So he ain't really trying to leave Russia. Second of all, man, I don't know about Vladimir and them. Vladimir don't play. They don't play. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, man. You don't think they'll make an assassination attempt on Vladimir, bro? He know what's popping. He know what's, bro. It's a dangerous game that he is playing, going up against who he's going up against. It's just who he going up against. Hey, you couldn't have me behind that red, white, blue. Because I'm talking about, if they listening to me, Vladimir would be petrified. And that's what the U.S. military did, too, when he went to Alaska. How many of y'all heard or seen that on TV? Flying, they were flexing muscles. They were letting Vladimir know, bro, this ain't what you want. It's so stupid, in my opinion. And he know it's stupid. Trying to, like the way, listen, he might have had a legitimate grief to why he started, but the way he did it was completely wrong, and he knows it's wrong. Y'all make sure y'all double tap that screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, guys. Who's going to be the first to make a donation to the channel today, guys? Your donations are much appreciated. Is that Kavara says Vladimir Putin is using Donald Trump. Sir, would you care to expound to tell me how he's using him? What is he gaining from President Trump? Because I could promise you one thing, this war, one way or other, is going to come to an end. Sooner than later. Whether Vladimir want to keep fighting the war or not. I just want y'all to tell me if someone agree with that sentiment. He says veterans against Trump. How many veterans in this stream say that they are against President Trump? And y'all have to say that. Why? Y'all tell me why. Tell me why, y'all. Come on now. First of all, thank you. Is that Barry TV? Thank you for that donation, that gift. First of all, guys, I want to say thank all the veterans for their service. You know your boy, Big Ghostwriter, 92 Golf, U.S. Army Hool. Hey, look, I was enlisted during 9/11. You see what I'm saying? I can't say that. I didn't sleep on the floor of the cafeteria for nights during 9/11. Feeding troops who were prepared to go to that conflict that jumped off about a year later. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I want to know why he say, why are you saying Trump got used? I want to know why is he saying that President Trump got used? That's all I want to know. He says, no veteran I ever talked to you like the draft dodger. Golly, man. So y'all saying that the United States military or the U.S. veterans don't support President Trump. Y'all, this is what I do. This is what I got to do. This is what they want me to do. They want me to fact check on the spot. You see what I'm saying? What is President Trump's support amongst veterans? What is President Trump's support with veterans. What y'all say it is? Because my boy, Kalaver says that the veterans aren't for President Trump. What y'all say it is? Let's look it up real quick, and we'll jump right back to the news. So, y'all, is the White House a good source for it? We might not use the White House. Somebody gonna say they being biased towards the veterans. Let's see. Let's say support with veteran voters. Let's just say that. Let's see, because that's how we could judge it. Military veterans support President Trump by wide margin. This is according to Pew Research Center. Now, listen, I study politics, boy, at the University of Southern Mississippi, and I could tell you one thing for sure. We used the Pew Research Center, swore by it. I had my favorite teacher. He was a doctor. University of Southern Mississippi, Long Beach, Mississippi. I ain't gonna put him out there like that, call his name. You see what I'm saying? But he the one who told me that President Trump was gonna win the election. I'm talking about every news agency in the world. Fox said he was gonna lose. Fox said he was gonna lose. CNN said he was gonna lose. He thought he was gonna lose. And I had one professor who told me he was gonna win. When he first said that in front of class, I had to stay behind class, act like I'm talking about a project. He telling me I did a good job on this speech, so I can't go that hard at him. But I'm looking at him, I want to, because you know Hillary was my girl. People that know me know Hillary was my girl, for real, for real. That's the first female politician. She the one made me start liking female politicians. I didn't know a female politician existed before Hillary Clinton. I just had so much compassion and love for her. I felt like she fought for the people, kind of like AOC, not as hard. She more tied to special interests, not trying to knock on her. But I felt like, though, what she went through with her husband, and I felt like, you know, she made more money than her husband before they got the job. Like really, she was the president during the first Clinton year. I'm going to stop beating around the bushes. That's how I felt. So I love Hillary. So when I heard him say, bro, the whole class, I had one boy, Alex. What's up, my boy? I wonder if you took over your daddy car lot. But I had Alex, man. He was in my class, bro. He was a little cool little white boy, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to help him run cars for his daddy. They used to buy cars. His daddy owned a car lot in Biloxi. But he was agreeing with the professor. But he just was a Republican, and they like President Trump. They like Donald Trump as a man. You see what I'm saying? So that's why he was saying that. But me personally, though, with the facts and the knowledge, bro, Fox News, they saying he ain't going to win. We know he ain't going to win. We know he ain't going to win. And I had one professor that said, well, I said all that to say that professor, bro, he swore by Pew Research. There's a certain, whenever he taught us to do our research looking into politics, that's why research is so good, bro. I learned to research too as a paralegal. So I went to secondary school and learned when he taught us how to research, so I trust Pew Research. Military veterans, hold up, let me back up and give y'all this Pew Research, September of 2024. No bias, just facts. Military veterans have long tended to affiliate with the Republican Party and support Republican candidates. That remains the case. So if he's saying, my boy Kalarva, he might be saying, hey, it might not be that they supporting President Trump. It might be that they supporting, you know what I'm saying, the Republican Party. About 6 in 10 registered voters who say they have served in the U.S. military or military reserves support President Trump in the 2024 election. So that's why we fact check it. 6 in 10 veterans support the president. That might be why he won. You see what I'm saying? Y'all can hate on me or not hate on me. I have content. If you become a member of the channel membership start at $2.99. I have content under the channel membership where I'm just knowing that VP Harris, you know what I'm saying, at least publicly I'm saying she was going to win. So I supported VP Harris. How you going to knock me now because I'm speaking good on the president because of what's going on? The man's trying to broker peace. He's attempting to broker peace. He is attempting. I'm saying, how can you hate on that? You can sit back in the cup with your arms folded like a hater and your lip poked out, but what you gonna say? He went and got Vladimir. He talked face to face with Vladimir. You know what Vladimir wants. He went and talked to the Europeans, and they probably, when he talked to the Europeans and Zelensky, he probably spit some game at Zelensky. Now watch this now. Now watch this. I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this. Because y'all think President Trump, y'all think this is about President Trump. This ain't about President Trump. This is about them men and women in uniform who've been doing this for years, bro. They helping them out. So Zelensky, why you think he went and talked to Putin first? So Zelensky and the Europeans come, and President Trump, he's not just hearing their side. You know why I say that? This is why I say that. Because remember, he said that he think it's better for Zelensky and Putin to meet by themselves. Oh my goodness, Ghost, what you saying? What you talking about, Ghost? What Ghost talking about? President Trump went and talked to Putin, right? He heard what Putin had to say. We thinking he went and talked to Zelensky and Europeans to hear their side. That's not what he went to do that for. Let me school you. Let somebody real smart school you. President Trump went to get some info from Putin to give to Zelensky and them. That's why he said they could meet by themselves. Because he running the square on Vladimir. Vladimir, you finna get the square ran on you. You can't even, you talk to a smart person. CNN ain't gonna tell you this. Fox ain't gonna tell you this. And if they do, it's because they know some inside stuff, inside information. I don't have no inside information. I promise you, none. I just smart. I understand the game. I understand how the U.S. government work. And listen, the FBI and them, they work like Homeland Security and they work like the military. It's America, baby. I know how they get down. Hey, listen, ain't nobody gonna know better than me. They running the square on you, Vladimir. They finna run the square. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. They finna run the square on that boy. President Trump went to talk to Vladimir, right? Whatever Vladimir told him, he went back and told Zelensky. And then he told Zelensky to go get down with him yourself. What's the square? I ain't trying to put the business out like that, bro. I know what's coming. On the backside. There's a reason you think when Zelensky talking to Putin, President Trump gonna be in that meeting. He might not be president, but he gonna be watching and hearing everything going on. You gotta think outside the box. And it's a reason why he ain't going. Cause Putin finna get his teeth knocked out his mouth. Hey, Vladimir, I know the game, boy. I'm telling you, boy, you on some dangerous grounds, Vladimir. You are on some dangerous grounds, and he know it. When that International Criminal Court said they boxed you in, they said you really can't leave Russia. They catch you anywhere else. I don't care how many security guards come with, they gonna come get you. So he can't really leave Russia. And then the Europeans saying, Boost, bro, they putting that pressure on him. And then if he don't want to like Zelensky and them like that, bro, you know how Zelensky get down, boy. If you hadn't heard, you better ask somebody. You better do some research, boy. That boy a warrior. He a warlord. Putin days, man. I'm telling you, bro, it'll happen in an instant. It'll happen in an instance. You got to be a Christian to have faith to know stuff like this. This is a faith file. I've seen great men there fall momentarily. Putin, you are treading in dangerous waters. Dangerous waters. Very dangerous, Vladimir. So let's look at some other countries and how they stand in this situation, okay? Once again, we're going to get back to the Independent. It was published yesterday. Russian President Vladimir Putin held a phone call with his Turkish counterpart to discuss Ukraine and the outcome of Putin's summit last week with U.S. President Donald Trump, the Kremlin said on Wednesday. Belarus and Iran, two countries who have backed Russia's war in Ukraine, plan to deepen bilateral ties across areas, including defense, the president said. Listen, Putin, how that help you? What you gonna do? Use the Iranian airspace and Belarus? If you ask somebody to name every country in the world, unless they study the countries in the world, they not gonna say Belarus. They don't even know that was a country till we talking about it. But Iran, we know Iran. You mean the Iran that America just put the boot of their heel in and stomped their nose? You mean Iran? The same supreme leader who been yelling death to America for decades. And that boy, Aaron, bro, I watched CNN, Aaron Brunette, man, she was like concerned for the man. Where the supreme leader at? That boy was hiding in the bunker, man. That boy was in the bunker. Them bombs start dropping. Look, the bomb dropped. They should say, hey, supreme leader, they done decimated the buildings. You know what I'm saying? You could come out now. He didn't come out the next day. That boy was for a week. He was hide, boy. You come out talking tough, hide, boy. I'm telling you, them Americans, they bring that hardware out, boy. You better sit your butt down somewhere. That's what you better do. The only way that's going to change, you're going to have to get a president who's saying that. What you going to do, tear up the NATO alliance? As long as that treaty is in, that's the world order. You walking on some dangerous grounds. I done knew some mighty men in their nation, like Muammar Gaddafi, how many years? Like Saddam Hussein, man, you know when America first went into that war, they were talking about Iraq's a million-man army. He was supposed to be some great something too, until America went in there and kicked him in his mouth. You see what I'm saying? That's how Russia was supposed to go in Ukraine, but it didn't materialize like that. They don't have the power. Russia is feared because of the great landmass, its location. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to conquer Russia. It would take too much. So that's why many nations have tried to conquer Russia and failed. So the location and the landmass and the nuclear weapons, outside of that, Russia just a regular country. Ukraine can't go invade Russia, but they could defend their nation. That's good enough to me. You know what I'm saying? Back to the news, okay? So in conditions of geopolitical turbulence, Minsk and Tehran are undertaking consistent and balanced steps to further develop cooperation and are working hard to turn each new challenge into a new opportunity. What does that mean? You standing with Putin. Putin didn't stand with you, Iran, when Bibi was plucking you in your face. Putin couldn't help you, Iran, when Bibi plucked you in your nose. That's what happened. Israel went up there and blacked Iran's eye, both eyes. They've been doing it the last 2 years. And Putin hands tied. So you offering Putin some airspace, what's that going to do? It's going to make you be broke. If I was President Trump and I heard you say something like that, it's going to make you be broke. I'm going to try to cripple you. Listen, all Vladimir have to do is just say, hey, man, let's make a deal. Why he can't say that? He don't see the handwriting on the wall. Why he can't just say, let's make a deal? I can't win this war. I've been fighting this war for 4 years. What President Biden did is what I would have done if I was in the military. The same thing. Because, listen, here's the thing that's complicated about Vladimir. Vladimir got nukes. So you can't just go run up on him like that. You feel me? You can't run up on him like that. And I told you how you can't just go take his land, boots on the ground. That's complicated. So, but I'm saying this is the situation, though, where you got to understand, even though he has nukes, he doesn't have the capabilities. I was telling you about the NATO alliances, especially America has to be able to withstand a long-term conflict. He don't have the money. Those nations are richer than him. I'm saying, how you gonna fight the war? What's the end to the war? How does he win? I don't see how he wins at all. And what's gonna end up happening is the nations that are aligned with him, they're going to go down with him. I'm saying Iran they just against America for whatever reason they are. So that's a common enemy. Just like North Korea, you're going to send troops to help them. I'm saying it's not going to help you. Them troops, that North Koreans, they dying first. You know what? I could tell you something. Ain't nobody in the military telling me this. I just know. They dying first. Ain't no American troops got to be over there. I know how the Americans are. You feel me? They cool. Like President Bush said, we are peaceful people. But they come to get your head, boy, I know how they are. And I know President Trump, I'm saying we gonna get to that world doctrine just a second. We've been streaming for about an hour. Y'all make sure y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, guys. I'm trying to flash through it so we won't be here all day. Let's see who we gonna read somebody. I'm gonna pray for America because they need it badly. Yes, America needs prayer. Every nation on earth needs prayer. Every nation on earth needs prayer. You know what I'm saying? Every nation. So, German prosecutors charged Russia with planning an attack on Israeli embassy in Berlin. How many of y'all are woke right now? The Russians planned an attack on the Israeli embassy in Berlin. What? I'm going to say it one more time so y'all can wake up and listen, so y'all can be aware. So is Russia turning against Israel? That's the question. Let's find out. German prosecutors have charged a Russian nationalist they suspect of planning an attack on the Israeli embassy in Berlin and of trying to join militant organization Islamic State, they said on Wednesday. Prosecutors believe the accused, identified only as Ahmad E. That's that boy name, Ahmad E. In line with German privacy rules, obtained instructions from the internet on how to make explosives, but the plan failed as he could not get the components he needed. Italian Admiral, I ain't even gonna try to pronounce your name, sir. I do apologize. But he is the chair of the NATO's military committee, so y'all could look that up, said that the 32 defense chiefs from across the alliance, y'all stand up and salute the alliance, keeping the world safe and free, will hold a video conference as the U.S.-led diplomatic push seeks to end the fighting. U.S. General Alexis Grokamwich. You see, I have to try to pronounce his name. That's the U.S. general. He's the NATO Supreme Allied Commander in Europe. You stand up and salute. That's a powerful man. Will take part in the talks, Mr. Dragon said on the social platform X. The meeting will take place at around 1:30 p.m. local time. Man. So the Russians, huh? They trying to get at the Israelis on the slick. Trump said ready to crush Russia's economy if Putin avoids talk with Zelensky, said Lindsey Graham. And this is on at 10:34 from the Independent. It was written by Byron Gooch. I got to stand up for this. That's what I'm talking about, baby. What big Lindsey Graham mad? Hey, South Carolina, y'all stand up one time. Y'all give it up for Senator Lindsey Graham one time. I always liked you, Lindsey. You seem like a cool dude, man. I always liked Lindsey, man. He always was on CNN, like one of the only Republicans, him and John McCain, love to do. But Senator Graham says that President Trump is ready to crush the Russian economy. Vladimir, this was coming to you, boy. We ain't playing no more. Real talk. I've been saying, former Vice President Mike Pence, I seen you on CNN, so I'm going to salute you. All the big OGs, baby. All the Republicans standing up, because I'll tell you across the board, the Democrats are all for this. Been for it. President Biden's administration. You go back to big President O. Back to his administration. Vladimir, you done rubbed a lot of American presidents wrong. Go back to President Bush. You see what I'm saying? It's just about how many of them want your head. But what I'm saying, President Trump might not want your head, but he there to deal with you, and he gonna deal with you. I promise you, you finna get dealt with, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what's coming. Well, y'all go get the Russian. Y'all go, because I'll tell it to your face. I don't care what country you in or what, you finna get dealt with. That's what's coming. You got to stop the war. There's no other way out. We got to stop this stupid war. Vladimir, you know you're not taking all of Ukraine. You know you're not doing this. He want to get as much land as he can. So listen, this is what I'm going to do. I know the war is coming to an end. I know that. He knows that. I know that. You know that. I don't care what side you on. Fox knows that. MSNBC knows that. It's just a matter of time. He's circled. He's surrounded. So it's going to come to an end. So what am I doing still fighting? Why do I want to? I'm going to fight it until they make me. Let me tell you something, okay? I told y'all this plenty of times. So President Trump, he being cool with Vladimir, right? Diplomacy. That's a world doctrine. We're going to get to it just a second. Diplomacy. He always start with diplomacy. In his first term, he tried to stop Kim Jong-un from getting a nuke, but he made a mistake. Kim Jong-un, like somebody said in the stream, was using President Trump. Kim Jong-un was using President Trump and playing on his niceness, and he ended up with a nuke. So President Trump learned from that. He said he ain't gonna play that game with you no more. That's what happened with Iran. You see what I'm saying? So Putin's whole mentality is, I know the war gonna end, I'm gonna try to get as much land in Ukraine as I can before it ends. Land that I'm not gonna be willing to give up to. Because the Europeans gonna want him to give up. President Trump, in the end, he knows he's gonna have to step in and he gonna have to broker the deal. But before I do, President Trump, I would stand 10 toes with the Europeans. This is the only way the war gonna end. Because Putin is bigger than Ukraine. He's not big enough to just beat up on them because the Americans and the Europeans have been propping up Ukraine. But Putin is bigger than Ukraine until he could keep fighting the war. He don't care. He'll sacrifice his whole military. He know he gonna rebuild and lick his wounds and stuff again. You know what I'm saying? But this is my point. Here's my whole point to this whole conversation. Is that for a few miles of land, he has sacrificed millions of his people. Millions. Over 1 million. If he want to keep fighting the war, he gonna get to 2. Because them Ukrainians are dying. He trying to fight for the land because he's saying he want to annex the land, Ukraine, because they don't want to, Zelenskyy, or they don't want to be part of NATO. They don't want to be part of Europe. They want to be part of Russia. That's what he's saying, right? Well, he killed over 400,000. Because that Ukrainian army, if he could take Ukraine, it would become his army, killing them and his own people. 5,000-10,000 of his own people weekly. And he knows that he has to make peace. He knows it's at an end. He don't care. Just a few more miles of land. Trump believes that if Putin doesn't do his part, that he's going to have to crush President Trump. I'm talking about a full stump. President Trump, I'm talking about a full stump. Boy, I wish I could get up there with y'all. Because I don't even have to know how it works. I just know how I would get him. I know how I would get him, and I'm going to start with that oil. Ain't nothing coming in and nothing going out. Man, let me tell you something, man. He's sitting there playing with you, President Trump. I said this before I started this conversation, but I jumped. But it's important, so I'm going to go back. President Trump, call him. Be cool with him. Vladimir, can you chill out for just a minute? I know I can't get a ceasefire. Can I get a slight chill? Vladimir launched the most drones and most rockets into Ukraine. President Trump called him back trying to be cool. He a busy man now. He juggling peace. He over here in Israel. He got to go back to Israel soon. You see what I'm saying? So he doing a lot of things. So he on the phone, Vladimir, I'm busy. I'm tied up. Can you, Vladimir, please? Can you please, man? You know what Vladimir did? He launched more rockets and more drones than before. If I was President Trump, I would have been through with it. You got to stop playing with him. Diplomacy, this is diplomacy. I hadn't slapped you in your mouth yet, boy. This is diplomacy. So here go round 3. President Trump heard us. He ain't playing with him no more. I'll give you 12 days, Vladimir. You know what Vladimir did? President Trump, what'd he do? President Trump, what'd he do? He did just what Ghost said he was going to do. He picked up the phone. He ain't launching no rocket. Listen, President Trump threatened him. He launched rockets. President Trump threatened him again. He launched rockets more than last time. He didn't threaten him, President Trump being nice to him 2 times, 2 phone calls, 2 nice times. The 3rd time, you don't get no phone call. I give you 12 days. Vladimir calling now. He want to meet. You see it? You see it, man? He playing with you, bruh. He just like Kim Jong-un is, man. He think you weak. You projecting strength, but he looking at you like you weak. He playing with you. He know you a slap. Bro, he know American military probably will run to Moscow in 10 days without them nukes. Them nukes is the only thing that's stopping them. Them boys are not ready. American military been fighting wars for the whole time. They out somewhere out there right now. I promise you, they just active like that. You get active, boy. That red, white, and blue active, man. And we don't think this moving in the right direction by the time we get back. I'm Big President T right now. This what's going on. Vladimir, I give you 12 days. I done came back to this spot now. I need world peace. I need peace in the world. Because I got a plan. Me and Elon, we going to use that AI and we going to prosper the entire world. But we cannot prosper the world with all this fighting. So Vladimir, Joe Biden and them gave you 3 years. So this what I'm going to do. I gave you 2 phone calls and you flicked me in my face. So this what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 12 days. I'm not playing with you no more. I got Republicans and Democrats behind me. They ready to spank you. So I'm going to give you 12 days. Oh, President Trump now. He come at President Trump like Kim Jong-un. Oh, President Trump now. President Trump. Like Kim Jong-un. Because that's how Kim Jong-un got that nuke. You see what I'm saying? President Trump a cool dude. But he know he trying to play him. The military, they own it. But you know what President Trump said? He didn't leave. He stayed right here. Okay, Vladimir. And you know, they ran the play on Vladimir. He went up there and heard what Vladimir said, and he went back and told Zelenskyy and the Europeans everything he told them. You say that's for a peace deal. Now he told them the secret off the record stuff too. That's why he said you can meet with him yourself. You can meet with him yourself. You know why you can meet with him yourself? Because if we don't get this thing moving in the right direction, Vladimir, by the time we get back, because I got to go. I ain't got time to play with you. I got this fight in Israel I'm trying to stop too. I ain't got time to play with you. So you meet with Zelenskyy yourself, and when I get back, everything them Europeans saying, everything Zelenskyy saying, everything the Republicans been saying, I'm going to even listen to the Democrats on you. I'm going to even listen to President Biden and Joe. Yeah, boy, same bird, 2 wings, yeah. They all want you. Everybody wants you, Vladimir. So when I get back, Everybody, I ask that y'all like the stream for me. Double tap the screen, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Thank you for the donation, man. We need them donations up. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the likes. You guys, y'all jump down. I see that y'all got that comment section jumping. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Wood Baby says, had the red carpet rolled out for Putin. Is that what you think? That's what y'all think. Y'all tell me now. I'm an independent. I'm going to listen to both sides. You're going to get truth and wisdom from both sides. I'm going to take my stand on something after I done listened and considered both sides. So Wood Baby says he had the red carpet. Is that not a part of diplomacy? I'm saying, look, Wood Baby, if I had to fool somebody or trick somebody, I'm saying how I'm going to trick them. I'm going to come in there letting them know that we doing this and we running this play on you. Or I'm going to trick them by being cool with them. That's how you trick them. Wood Baby, I think we got to see the end of this story before we could just jump to a conclusion that, like, President Trump ain't with what he's supposed to be with. Wouldn't you agree with that? You know what I'm saying? So, guys, what is the President Trump's foreign doctrine? That's the title of the stream. That's what we're talking about. This is Desert News. It was published on April 25th or April 2025. President Trump has been president for a little more than 70 days. Okay, this is an old story. So I'm not looking for news from the story, though. I'm looking for we're going to define what President Trump's foreign policy is or his doctrine is. Even so, in the world of foreign policy, the upheaval has been profound. USAID no longer exists. Number one, President Trump's foreign policy, he don't believe in the soft power of the old days. He don't believe in that. USAID no longer exists. Immigration numbers at the southern border have plummeted by over 90% since the election. President Trump believes in having a strong border. Number two, this is how they are defining his doctrine. Tariff wars are imminent, even with Canada and Mexico, with whom we have had free trade treaty, the USMCA, which has been negotiated by President Trump since 2018. President Trump, we can't let you do that. You can't do that. You can't do that to no NATO member nations, President T. We can't, because we need them. NATO is how America one-on-one, I believe America militarily. When you start putting all that geopolitics in it, that changes everything. But militarily, one-on-one, I think America could whoop any army in the world, even China's. Even a nation with 10 million troops or could garner up to 10 million troops, I think America could whoop them. Because you got the money and technology. You feel me? You see that in Ukraine. Ukraine's army ain't bigger than Russia's. But America got a big army now. America spends more money on defense spending than anybody in the world, by far. Have for decades. That's why their military is so dominant, real smart. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of smart people in America. I think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's about being crafty, too. The Americans are very crafty, you know? It's how you go get the smart guy to build an atomic weapon. It's just always been like that. Let's get back to the news. The Monroe Doctrine is back with a vengeance, with Panama and Greenland in a new state of anxiety concerning their powerful neighbor. But you know what I'm saying, that's pretty much been squashed since then. That's why I'm saying this is an old news story. We're just looking for that doctrine. The Secretary of Defense and Vice President, apparently agree with the president that our European allies, with the possible exception of Poland, are pathetic. What y'all think? The old story now. The U.S. is also now taking a very different approach to the Russia-Ukraine war. It seems President Trump will force Ukraine to take its territorial losses without compensatory accession to NATO. Look, I don't know how much I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. about as far as President Trump. Look, I don't know. Is it President Trump? Is he forcing Ukraine to take territorial losses, or is there just no other way around that if you want to get peace? That's what I'm saying. You got to look at this. According to, look, I'm going to talk about something too before, because I think this will lead into that. Look, I heard somebody, President Trump, so the Europeans want a ceasefire. Ukraine wants a ceasefire. President Putin don't want a ceasefire. In the situation that's going on, President Trump came out yesterday. I seen him on TV, and he said, hey, I negotiated 6 peace deals. We never had a ceasefire. In my opinion, to some people, they get so caught up on those particulars. I don't think those particulars really matter. A ceasefire, they do matter. People are dying. They need to stop dying. Yeah, you're right on all of that. People are dying. They need to stop dying. You want to end this war. It needs to be a ceasefire. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying, I think that the overall objective to the situation is just to get the war, just get them to stop fighting. Stop fighting. That we just want peace. You see what I'm saying? So however you can achieve the peace is how you do it. That's my opinion. If you could do it without a ceasefire, do it without a ceasefire. I think, listen, strategically, I think doing it without a ceasefire might work. Because you don't know that, you don't know my game plan. That's what I'm saying. I got a game plan. Y'all don't know my plan. I can't tell you it. It's top secret. It's national secret. I can't tell you the plan, but I got a plan. That's why I said that I don't want to meet with Putin. I think Putin and Zelensky can meet by themselves. Listen, a monkey in that situation can look at that and say that in the end, President Trump is going to have to come step in and get that deal done. In the end, a monkey could look at that situation and say, hey, Putin don't even look at Zelensky as a real leader. He went into the nation because he had former Soviet nationalists crying out to him. So how could that meeting ever be successful? But America has a plan. Because what's going to happen is when President Trump steps away and go to Israel, you know what I'm saying, need some time to work on Vladimir. It's another way you could put Vladimir at that table. I promise you that. You don't believe me? I gave y'all the scenario, bruh. He was flicking his finger in President Trump's face until he said, I'll give you 12 days. Oh, goodness gracious. He ain't playing no more. He might turn to the crazy Trump. He been the cool Trump, love Russia. He might be turning to the Trump to say, hey, we're going to drop some of the biggest bombs like he did in Iran. We don't want that kind of Trump. We want that other Trump talking about that money. Oh, President Trump, I was just playing, yeah, come meet me up here. Come meet me up here in Alaska so I could charm you like Kim Jong-un done and got that nuclear weapon. I could charm you, come meet me up in Alaska. Yeah. While we come up in Alaska, we got a plan for you, though, Vladimir. You think you slick, don't you? Vladimir, you think you slick, don't you? We got a plan for you, boy. You don't even see it coming. So, yeah, President Trump did say, hey, yeah. He already know when he go meet up with Zelensky, he know it ain't going to amount to nothing. But this is what we going to do, President Trump. Just back up a second. Just for a second. You're not giving up leadership. You're not looking like a clown. Let them say what they want to. They don't know what's going on. President Trump, yeah, Zelensky, we know it's going to fail. Zelensky, I think they should meet up together. And then, when I get back, because I got to go deal with this thing in Israel real quick. We got to go try to figure that out and try to get some peace. So when I get back, but he ain't never leaving. You know what's going to happen to Putin? There's other ways to make Putin want to sit at this table. You don't believe me? There was a way to make him. Listen, President Trump, y'all know, I keep saying, he picked up the phone and called him once. What happened? Putin launched the most drones and most missiles. He picked up the phone being nice, and the only time he did more than last time. This time he didn't pick up no phone. He said 12 days. Putin picked up the phone. You get it? Can you see it? I'm trying to give it to you as clear as you want to. So President Trump got the message. He know dude being a slickster. So I'm going to be slick with you too, buddy. Look, you two right there, y'all going to talk. And see now, Ghost, come back here with Ghost and watch Ghost. I'm going to show you how to do something, President T. I'm going to show you how to make him want to sit at the table. From behind the scenes. He do it while he over here. He going to go talk to BB. Now, BB, what's your problem? BB got a problem, President Trump. Yeah, I support Israel 10 toes, but BB got a problem. You don't starve no kids. And at the same time, he got a tenth of his population out in the streets protesting against him. And he on trial right now for corruption. That man got a problem. President Trump, go deal with him. Whatever going on in Israel, let God's people deal with that situation. That's their leader. But what I'm saying is that war need to come to an end. It should have been came to an end. What Iran finna do? Iran ain't even got no proxy armies. Hamas is holding on by a thread. Listen, Hamas has been more decimated than what President Trump and them did to ISIS. Decimated. For 2 years, he been beating them to sleep. And President Trump came and finished them. Where the supreme leader at, y'all? Oh, he under the bunker hiding. Aaron Brunette said, we looking for him. CNN got the news cameras. Where he at? That boy in China under a bunker. He ain't in Iran. He don't know what's coming. Oh, he know them bombs dropping. That mouth got to get shut up. Listen, this is for the good of the whole world. If the man had different plans, I know what his plans is. He's trying to bring prosperity to the world. It's an AI revolution. All the nations of the world are ready to invest. We could jumpstart a world economy, but we can't do this with these stupid knuckleheads. We got Dumbo over here, number one, and Dumbo number two. And it's like little kids. And you trying to get these kids to stop fighting because I'm trying to get us some money. You stupid. And we got Dumbo number one and I got to keep playing between Dumbo. I got Dumbo number one. Hey, will you please stop fighting? You know, I got Dumbo number two. And he over here trying to show out. Netanyahu trying to show out. He's showing out. He got this man. You got this man big, and you want to drop a bomb on a weak dude. Nah, get me out of there. You ain't gonna have me looking bad. And then I gotta go back here with this clown. Okay, clown, look, this is what I'm gonna do with you. If I get back, when I come back now, I'm tired of being with you now. When I come back, this is the last time with this clown. Now we finna go over to Netanyahu. Netanyahu will listen to you a little more. He got to. He ain't got no choice. But Putin, you coming to that table one way or the other. You ain't got no choice. You coming to that table. I'll tell you how we get you to that table. Because Putin, you mess with good. Putin, we'll be in Russia. We'll be messing with your personal stuff. Your personal assets. Y'all know Putin like the richest man in the world. And number two, he got more money than Elon. He a straight crook. He been a crook. Ask President Obama and the CIA. Been a crook. Ask the first President Bush. He been a crook. Ask the second President Bush. He been a crook. President Biden wouldn't even talk to him. No conversations. Not even meeting with him. President Trump doing what he got to do. Vladimir, I got love for you, baby, but your time up. I got a lot of love for you, Vladimir, but your time. Hey, look, y'all know Vladimir, they open them Russian door, them big doors in Russia. Y'all ever seen that on TV? It's like they what you call that when President Trump coming out? Vladimir Putin. And he come out with that pimp walk, like that strong pimp walk. Boy, you got that pimp walk. Boy, you said you were going to run through Ukraine in 48 days. That pimp walk, you got to sit down. We got you 4 years. You can't take Ukraine in 4 years. That boy ain't got no power like that. I'm trying to tell you, President Trump and them scared like he gonna use a nuke. That dude ain't trying to use a nuke. You know how many girls he be fornicating with? See, Ghostwriter know him. Like he know him like he's sitting at this bench. Y'all know how many females Vladimir be fornicating with. That boy love life. He not gonna use a nuke. He know that's the end of the world if he do. He not gonna do that over some land. He care more about his pimp walking than fornicating. You see what I'm saying? He a common dude. He not using no nuke. So Russia without nukes, how powerful are they? You got the 11th economy in the world. That's other nations. Your economy is 7 nations behind California. And you are a superpower. And your economy 7 nations behind California. Your economy got less money than the state of Texas. That's 2 American states that I named. And you a superpower? No, you not. You just a big nation that we can't take by land because you up there on the North Pole and you got nukes, more nukes than us. That's it. But Vladimir, though, your time, dog, is ticking. Your time ticking. When that boy can't lead the country, he can't lead the country because I promise you, he's stepping one of them nations with that international court. He ain't got enough security detail. They're going to put the cuffs on him. They label him a war criminal. And if you go back, they did that after Ghost said it. Y'all know Big Ghost said it. I've been said it because I stand for human rights. And you going around killing journalists, I can't support that. Vladimir with your cool pimp walk. We seen a lot of you, Vladimir, on the world stage. We sat there, bro. How many years did we sit there and watch Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein for decades? And then your clock ticked out. I'm saying if I was Vladimir, I would just like sit at the table. He stays president of Russia if he sits at the table. You know, he can't, you know, he ain't going everywhere in the world. See, you don't know what I know. You don't know what I know. Listen to me now. You don't know what I know. You don't know what I know, boy. Why do you think that Russians are attacking that Israeli embassy? You don't know what I know, boy. That Mossad all the way around the world. How many of y'all heard about the Mossad? How many of y'all heard of the CIA? How many of y'all heard of them? You want me to start calling them and tell? I ain't trying to put them business out there. You don't know what I know. Vladimir, bro, he's skating on some dangerous grounds, boy. Right now, he walking on dangerous territories. He messing with men who it's their business to kill leaders. How many of Iran's top people that Israel took out? And look how clever they was with it. I'm talking about precision, boy. You see what you're dealing with, boy. You don't know what you're dealing with. He just don't understand. He know. He old KGB. He know. But you got to tread lightly, Vladimir, because you walking on some dangerous grounds. That's why he said he wanted to meet with Zelenskyy in Moscow. Zelenskyy ain't gonna be scared to go to Moscow. But Vladimir, he gonna be scared to move in anywhere outside of Moscow. He trusts President Trump. He know America ain't gonna do nothing to him like that. He ain't gotta do him like that. You know what I'm saying? At least not in public with the state flags up. That's some dangerous ground, bruh. You got nuclear weapons. So you make it, them people kind of scared of you. And they got enough money to do whatever they want to you. I'm saying, to me, it's you at the point, you at the chill out point. Just chill out, just sit down, man. It's a wrap. You took the land you got, and you probably gonna get to keep the land you got. You know what I'm saying? President Trump gonna probably pressure it to where he gonna get to keep the land he got. The Europeans don't want that, but that's probably how it's gonna happen. But we need you, Vladimir. The game is up, man. The time is up. You done fought the war for how long? Time's up. Y'all, we almost finished with the news, okay? During the Cold War, the United States prepared to fight 2 wars simultaneously. And after the Soviet Union collapsed, this is the whole problem with this situation that was subsequently reduced to 1.5 wars and then 1 war, and a holding action. Under the Trump administration's second term, it will be 1 war with China and only China and homeland defense. Homeland defense includes not only border security, according to the memo, but also expansion and update of America's nuclear arsenal, as well as increased emphasis on missile defense and space dominance. What they said, that 1 war with China, you see what I'm saying? They changed the Marines. They took the tanks away from the Marines. They were prepared to deal with China. But You might not have to deal with China if you can deal with Putin correctly. Because I promise you, President Trump, if I was the leader, look, Xi Jinping, this is what he doing. I promise you, the Chinese leader with Russia and Ukraine, this is what he doing. Because I know what he want. You know what he want. And just like I tell you everything else, Ghostwriter telling you right now that Chinese leader, he ready to take Taiwan. That's what he want. That's what China want. China don't want America telling them what to do. They can't stand American imperialism. They want to devalue the American dollar. And he wants Taiwan. Just like Putin did with Ukraine. So you know what he doing? He doing this. Just like this what he doing. He watched. He watched. That's why we had to say what we did in the first place. Because if President Trump was going to let Putin have his way with Ukraine, I promise you, the whole world order would have changed. Because as soon as he see that America isn't going to stand 10, oh, we on the white. China, there you go. And China didn't invade Taiwan. There you go. That's what's coming. But I'm saying if you stand strong with Ukraine, then you could continue as these other nations grow and develop and their economy, you know what I'm saying, become somewhat compatible to America's. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be worried about, okay, let China grow, let Russia grow. But we can't let you grow if you're going to go and the world order, you cannot redraw no nation's borders. That's why America goes into Iraq. They set up a government and they leave. They don't redraw the borders. You can't do that. That's wrong. That's what Putin trying to do. That's the difference. Oh, Putin is saying, oh, well, America doesn't. What borders America withdrew? We withdrew. No, we didn't. We didn't take nobody's land. We got 50 states, the same 50. We ain't withdrew nothing. President Trump playing with saying Canada. You don't get it. Do you get it? Do you get it? Oh, the Canada's a part of America now. You don't get it. Do you get it? You got to get the big picture. Oh, now, yeah, Canada don't be the 51st state. Canada a part of America. He redrawing the border. You get that? That's what Putin trying to do. That's what China trying to do. They trying to redraw. We hadn't did that since 1949. We're not going to start doing that. Now, if you want to get money, we're going to let you get money. Your economy grow. You can't go start taking nations. We don't take nations. They just need to do it better. You see what I'm saying? You could go in there and do your thing, but you can't redraw borders. He's trying to take that land off of Ukraine and put it on the Russia. Now he a war criminal. You can't do that, man. If you had a problem with something happening in Ukraine, you got to do it like America. Go in there for them 3 years, get rid of Zelenskyy, do what you had to do, and then get up out of there. But he didn't do that. He trying to redraw borders. Oh, we couldn't get rid of Zelenskyy. America had his back. I don't know what to tell you, Putin. You can't redraw borders. I know I'm a law person. I'm a legal person. And I know that's what the world laws say. They're not going to allow you to redraw a border. America never redrew any borders. We dropped them atomic bombs on Japan. We didn't redraw their borders. We didn't even keep their nations. We didn't get a 51st state out of all of the land that we occupy. Millions of miles of land we have occupied in the last decades with a D. We never took a government and never redrew their borders. We always leave. Putin, that's the difference between us and you. That's your problem, Putin. You got to get up out of there. But not only do he not want to get up out of there, he actually going to keep some of their land. So he did redraw the borders. Putin, you treading on some dangerous grounds, my brother. That's all I'm going to tell you. I knew many powerful men before you. That's dangerous grounds, bro. If I was you, I wouldn't want to meet nobody outside of Moscow either. That's his words. He don't want to meet outside of Moscow. That's his words. When he left Russia, he went 90 miles to Alaska. Basically, the country, the state next to it, to Alaska. He ain't meet nobody in Europe. He ain't meet nobody in Africa. You see what I'm saying? You don't see the picture. That thing don't look pretty for that boy, man. That thing don't look pretty, especially in these days and times, boy. Yeah, you gotta watch out, bro. You talking about that Messiah, boy. You been in one of your leaders, bro. You talking about Israel's intelligence, boy. Y'all seen what they did to Iran, bro? I'm talking about that's that Messiah. Y'all can give BP that credit. The Messiah is in every nation on earth. The CIA is in every nation on earth. And my father, you feel me? It's that intelligence, boy. That's what you need. You need that ghost intelligence. What big President T at? Making Taiwan the sole pacing scenario of U.S. foreign policy is quite remarkable, especially given that Americans seem quite averse to direct military confrontation with China over Taiwan. Nah, President Trump, we gonna stand 10. You gonna keep on doing what you gonna do. You letting them crazy dudes know that no, you can't do that. And we got the weapons to smack you. We got the firepower to smack you in the mouth. You can't do that. You can't go take countries. It looked like we were taking countries, but what land are we occupying today? Ask the Japanese if they want them American troops to leave. Ask them. You think Japan want to defend themselves? You think that? You think that Japan want to defend themselves? You want to go back down that path that we went? That's why they still there. Because you know what's going to happen when them American troops leave out of Japan, them 50,000 troops? Because if I was China, I wouldn't fool with that. I seen the bombs they dropped in Iran. We ain't got bombs like that. Our aircraft carriers, we got one aircraft carrier. Them Americans got more aircraft carriers. Let's look that up. I want to look that up because them aircraft carriers make a whole difference. You can have the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Hold on a second. So how many aircraft carriers? I just want to let you see the military might so you can understand what you're dealing with. The United States has 11 aircraft carriers. How many aircraft carriers do Russia have? Anybody know? How many? This is a superpower. They were saying Russia's a superpower. How many aircraft carriers does Russia have? How many they got? Somebody tell me. I bet you it ain't more than 2. I bet you it ain't more than 2. I could tell you that right now. I could just tell how they fighting that war. They got one aircraft carrier, and it's been in service since 1991, 2001, 2011. That thing 35 years old. They got one aircraft carrier compared to 11 of America. How many China got? Everybody talking about how strong China is because they got all them people. It's just easier to kill quicker. Y'all don't want Ghostwriter with no military. They'll be scared. The whole world fear the U.S. military. They'll fear him. You ain't got to worry about the president. Just stick me over with the dudes. Stick me with the ones don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Where they at? The ones that's above politics. The ones that care about that flag alone. Stick me with them. Let all the ones below us, the red, the white, the blue, Republicans, Democrats, whites, blacks, we're going to let y'all argue. We're going to go above all of that, y'all the children, and we're going to get on this level, on the red, white, and blue level that hold the whole thing together. Where them boys at? Because China got 3 aircraft carriers going against 11 of Americans. You outmanned and outnumbered. How can you be outmanned and you got, 1 billion people, unless they're going against India? Y'all know India just passed them in population. How can you be our man if you got 1.4 billion people and you going against a nation who got 350 million? You put your 3 aircraft carriers in that sea against them 11 are all manned. And your 3 are all manned. You can't fit a billion people on 3 aircraft carriers. You're going to get crushed. And they're going to be in the South China Sea. They're going to be in Beijing. That's what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. That look, they got more people, but they don't have the military might. I try to tell people that for a long time. Iran was never what people thought they was. Geographically, you can't conquer the land, and so the land survives. It's hard to go through the mountains of Iran and try to take. It's easy for them to defend their country. Same thing with Russia. Geographically, you can only fight that war for 3 months. Because when September comes, from September to April, you're going to be on the frozen tundra. And everybody who had went into Russia has been a graveyard for them. So that's why they strong, because they country big and you can't attack. But them people, they can't fight with America like that, where people be trying to make them armies seem like that. It's the United States and it's everybody else, period. Just like J.D. Vance looking at Europe, at France, he's seeing all these and all this high fashion. He don't understand that Europe is, bro. They're not military. America is the military. Europe is the high fashion. That's our culture. Most of our culture come from Europe. Our whole history, Mr. Vice President, come from Europe. So it's like you can't stomp on your history. That was the only reason I was against that. But I understand what he's saying about them being a little weak or whatever, but not the Americans, though. That's the problem that you have. For Mr. Putin, for Mr. Xi Jinping, or Mr. Hung Yong Wang, or whatever your name is. I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just being real. I don't care what your name is. That's your problem that you have. Is the Americans. And that military is too powerful for any of y'all. For any of y'all. So you know what's going to happen? China, you going to sit down. And Mr. Putin, you going to go sit at that table with Zelenskyy. How many days, President Trump, you give till he goes sit at that table with Zelenskyy? How many days? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all back channel Big Ghostwriter, I tell you about 4 things, and I give him 5 days. He gonna be at that table with Zelenskyy. One way or another, he's sitting at the table. If he don't sit at the table, tell him to come meet us over here in Berlin. Let's have a meeting in Berlin, Mr. Putin. Since you don't want to listen to somebody, let's have a little meeting in Berlin. We'll pay you $5 billion. We know you like that dirty money. We'll pay you $5 billion to come to Berlin. We'll put you on the front page of the news as the newest European criminal. The newest European criminal. Yeah, boy. That's what that is. Big Ghostwriter, man. What y'all got? Let's see. He said, we're the ones being played. 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. United States, China, Russia Federation, France, and UK. Man, I like that. But what you mean about that? What does the UN Security Council have anything to do with Russia redrawing international borders? That's the only problem. I'm saying, okay, the 5 members of the UN Security Council, you're going to take a vote. And so Russia went into Ukraine and say they just occupied the land. You know, when they first went in Ukraine, they didn't even, they wouldn't even put they insignias on their uniforms. They went into Ukraine first like they were just some rogue. Nah, that was the Russian army. But they didn't even put the flag on their uniform. So I'm saying, I'm trying to figure it out, bro. Joe Biden, listen, this man, he kept on attacking people. Remember that? He trying to get the USSR back. I did a stream about it. For 20 years, he's been attacking people. You know what the military told? They told President, but yeah, just back up a minute. Just back up. Watch what we do to him. Because Putin, after this, it's going to take you years to rebuild your military. You ain't going to have no military if you keep fighting this war, Vladimir. You ain't gonna have no army. And if I were President Trump, I'm saying, cause look, this President T, look, watch this. I could look at we could do this right now. I'm talking about he a sitting duck in 1,000 ways. You got the money to do it. The Europeans said they're gonna give you the money to do it, right? How many tanks has Russia lost? Hold up. He want to keep fighting. Russia lost 3,000 tanks. 3,000. How many they had before? Hold up. How many tanks did Russia have before the war? He want to keep fighting, though. You want to keep fighting, don't you? They had, before the war, they had 3,300. Bro, it ain't no way in the world them boys only got a few hundred tanks left. It ain't no way. But President Trump, he want to keep fighting. Zelenskyy, you got drones? Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Oh, Elon, he got Starlink. So we could locate every tank he got. From space, we could locate every tank you got. I don't care where you hide them. Zelenskyy, you got drones? Oh, he want to keep fighting? Wait till I get back, buddy. Get that money from Europeans, he ain't going to have no tanks left. I'm playing with Ghostwriter. That boy won't have no tanks. I have a drone operation. Just sit there with the Ukrainians and decimate that boy military. He get all his money from the oil, so cut off his money, oil supply and his money. Just sit on him. Sit on him. And put that boy at the table. He wouldn't have no tanks. He wouldn't have no airplanes. I'm talking about it. I would give Zelenskyy the money. Bro, I promise you. I seen the Ukrainians in action destroying tanks. That's why he lost 3,000 tanks. How you think the Ukrainians destroying them? They're not destroying them. They're not fighting Russia in conventional warfare. They fight Russia guerrilla warfare. How you think he destroying all the stuff? He wouldn't have no military left. He wouldn't have no hardware left. You want to keep fighting, bet. You want to keep fighting, bet. Tell the North Koreans to send 30,000 more. They're the first ones dying. Every North Korean that come to Russia, they sent 10,000 and 9,000 of them was dead within 30 days. It ain't funny, but that's what it is. They dying first. You want to keep sending them? You want to keep fighting, Vladimir? Man, it's time to end this war, man. Take what you got. I mean, what other, Vladimir, this is how I would look at it if I was you. If you was able to keep your power and keep your brains in your head, this is how I would look at it if I was you. I would look at it like, hey, I'm the only person who redrew a border in the world since 1949. America never redrew a border. But what I'm telling you is for doing that, they might want your neck. If you keep that land in Ukraine, and them Europeans might sign a peace deal with you because President Trump made them, but I promise you, them boys might want your head, boy. Them Europeans might want your neck. President Trump can't save your brains. That's facts. He can't do nothing about that. Them Europeans might want your neck. They do want your neck, as a matter of fact, because they already made you a criminal. He can't go nowhere in Europe. Putin can't go nowhere in Europe. When a Democrat could become president, he ain't gonna be able to go nowhere in America. I'm talking about that boy. Listen, I'm talking about boy. If I was Vladimir, boy, he got that smile on his face, but I'd be a little scared. I just would, man, because I know what he up against. I done went up against them boys before myself. And them boys are just, you cannot beat them. You're not going to get beat. Not how he trying to beat them. You're not going to beat them, Vladimir. They going to crush you, man. They going to corner you, bro, and then they going to collapse you. You feel me? You just on the wrong side, Vladimir. You got to get on the right side, man. President Trump said he'll open the door for you to get back in the G7. You got to sit at that table. Don't make him get too hard on you now. Because they got to get too hard on it. You ain't going to be no chances for you to get at that table. You feel what I'm saying? Man, that's about my time, man. Y'all keep them comments, though, man. I appreciate y'all showing up. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the donations. Man, if y'all want to become a member of the channel, $2.99, man. You know what I'm saying? Super chat, super thick stickers, super thanks start at 99 cents. I appreciate y'all donations. Y'all continue to like the video, man. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes, and then we're going to do the outro, man, and we're going to get up out of here, man. Hey, man, I know y'all just seen that, man. Somebody with a jet boat on the lake, man. Bro, you feel me? They out there living, man. Them people out there living. Man, what y'all think, man? I'm going to read a couple of comments before we get out of here, man. Y'all got to be talking about what we talk about it. Somebody said, love it, power. Man, I don't love power. Listen, this is what I'm saying. So I grew up in church, okay? So when we grew up in church, we were taught it's a different kind of church. A lot of y'all go to church and the preachers, that we weren't going to a church like that. We went to a church where the preacher taught us from 5 years old to 18, 13 years old. As long as I was in high school, I went to church 2 days less than I went to high school every week. But I went to church more because I went to church in the summer. I didn't go to school in the summer. I'm talking about the whole secondary school years, bro. I went to church. And the preacher taught us that God, he made it like God was real. I grew up and got to know him for myself. His name is Jehovah Jireh. He got a name. We want to look at God. You know how you talk about God, people foo-foo you and shoo-shoo you. Especially the more north and west you go, you get foo-fooed and shoo-shooed a lot. Now, I preach it in so me growing up as a children, like with God and being taught to pray and stuff, how can you not somewhat love power? That's what God is power. I love God. He is real power. The power comes from God. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand that. If you understand that, you can understand me if you understood my background. My background, I grew up with power. How could I not know it and love it? So when I go, like, oh yeah, with the power. Where the governor at? Where Big Gretch at? You feel me? You go. That's just how so many powerful people know me, and so many love me. I could tell you a man's name right now. He'll crush any one of y'all. You ain't got more money than him, and he love me. I know he do. For a fact, this ain't some speculation. This is something that I know for a fact. I just don't say everything. I ain't stupid. I know too much stuff. I can't say everything I know. I know way too much stuff. But I'm talking about stuff that ain't speculation. I mean, it's powerful people love me. I can't help that. You tell them powerful organizations to stop loving me. They love me so much. So how can I not love back? That's another thing about me, bro. My mama, man, she raised me. My mama loved too much. I ain't never met a person love as much as my mama. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a loving person. I was raised with power. I mean, like, the king's son gonna love power. You feel me? Cause that's how when he was raised. That's what he is. That's what I was raised as, a king's son. He said America goes boom. America don't go boom. You know why it don't? Because of people like Ghostwriter. We gonna stand 10 and we gonna fight for ours. Yeah. You know how, listen, you know how we survived for so long? By respecting human rights. Ain't no other, listen, I ain't even gonna look this up, but somebody had came to America, this was back in the 1900s, and they were from a foreign country. And they were trying to say the city on the shining hill, what makes America so special? And this back then now, and they going around America and they seeing the buildings, they look about the same all over the world. They're looking at the landscape. Yeah, America gorgeous. There's some other places in the world that's gorgeous too. So it's about the same. What makes America different and special is America's people and America's laws. That's what makes America special. What makes America different is that we're not gonna kill no journalists who disagree with us. You don't understand, like you gotta understand power too. Yeah, Putin, you can stump anybody. But that's what we look in the Bible. When Jesus had the opportunity to stump, what he did? Oh, this is my new commandment, love one another. What? You got all the power. Jesus didn't do that. King David didn't do that. So America's showing restraint on its power. That's what makes America different. That's one of the things. There's many things that make America different. America spends close to $1 trillion a year on defense. Has done it for decades. I can guarantee you that's more than almost every other nation in the world. Russia's economy barely is $1 trillion. They ain't spending that. China ain't spending that. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying like how America doesn't go kaboom. It doesn't. Because we're going to stay respecting the dignity of the law. We're going to respect human rights and we're going to promote our Constitution. And our Constitution has been the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. The U.S. Constitution has been the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. Tell me how it hasn't. America has brought more prosperity to the world. The world is richer. Even if you count inflation, the world is richer than it's ever been. Less people dying of hunger than they ever have. And it's more people on the earth. There's more medical, there's more. I mean, I don't see how you can say, listen, America's not perfect, but that means you haven't lived in no other nation. You get that? America's not perfect. Go live in Russia and say something about Putin. You could talk about President Trump. What he gonna do? Get mad and sue you? What he gonna do? Go over there and talk about Putin like that. Go to China and talk about you in China now, and you got a president now, and speak your mind in China and see what's gonna happen to you. That's what I'm saying. America's not perfect, but what nation is? I'm just wondering. You see what I'm saying? When you keep on respecting them words that's written on that paper, it's called the law. And you respect the dignity of human rights, and you're going to be fine. And we're going to keep fighting for that. How am I lying, sir? He said Putin let people express itself. Hold on a second. See, I don't like that. He might let people express himself, but he killed some of them too. How many journalists? Hey, look, we're going to use the voice thing so y'all can hear it. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all ready? This ain't fun. How many journalists has Vladimir Putin killed? "22 journalists."
21 journalists.
Oh, I'm sorry. She said.
According to Wikipedia.org, it is estimated that 21 journalists have been killed since Russian President Vladimir Putin came to power in March 2000. In the great majority of cases, no one has been convicted and sentenced for the murders.
As of now, I know y'all heard her. That's why I did that. But I'm going to just repeat because she said 21, but on here say 22. 21 journalists have been killed since Vladimir Putin. Listen, I'm a president. My main concern as a leader is to protect my people. Am I right or wrong? Tell me where I'm wrong. That's number one. You got to feed them, but you got to protect them before they eat. Because if you can't protect them, they can't eat. So you protect them and you feed them. That's your borders military. In America, we never worry about that. And that's your economy. All we worry about is the economy because we never have any threat. You get that? Okay, now, as a president, if my number one thing is to protect my people, I have an epidemic as a leader. He's been the leader of Russia in 23 years since 2022. So for 23 years, and you got 22 journalists dead, that's like one journalist a year. Your number one primary concern is to protect your people. Ain't nobody been convicted. You had 22 journalists murdered since you become president and not one conviction. What's going on? And you care about the rights of the people. See, I know stuff about Putin that I can't say because how I was told. I'm not supposed to repeat that. The way I was told, I can't say it. I never tell. It's going to the grave with me. But I know stuff about him y'all don't know. That's all I'm going to tell you. I know stuff about him that y'all don't know. It ain't no knock against Vladimir. I know good stuff about him too. I know how he helped the Christian church in Russia. Vladimir did. Yeah, he did. I don't care what nobody said. He stood 10 for the Christian church in Russia, the Orthodox Christian Russian church. It's only there because of Vladimir. Yeah, and I'm a Christian, so I know good stuff Vladimir did too, but Vladimir, he's just old playboy. He's just a Russian playboy. That's what he is. You know, it ain't no knock on him. It's the society he from. Them Russians are rough. If y'all don't know them Russians are rough. They need a leader that's rough like that. So that's who their leader is Vladimir. If you look at it from a Russian perspective, he probably the best leader or one of the best leaders they ever had. From a Russian American perspective, President Trump, I wouldn't try to replace him. I wouldn't. I don't think that would be wise. First of all, you don't know what you're going to get. And second of all, even though he don't work that well with the West, I mean, he is a Russian and, you know, that's the Soviet Union. You just got to see it for what it is. You said he support the children of Israel. Maybe he does. But I mean, like the Israelis said that one of their embassies got attacked by Russians. That's what they said. I hope he does for his sake. The black Christ and prophets, nah, we don't do none of that. we don't do none of that. I don't know what that is. Wondering. Oh, nah, it's not that. They visit other countries, man. It's just that, you know what I'm saying? They just look at it how they look at it. You know what I'm saying? People could look at stuff however they want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? But whenever you debate truth, that's something different. Like if I put you in court, look, you got your opinion and you holding your opinion is truth. It's not wrong with that. That's your perspective. You entitled to that. God wants you to be an individual. That's what gives you a soul. That's your perspective, okay? But your perspective and the truth sometimes are not the same thing. That's what we have courts for. Because I'm going to show you how that's your perspective. That's not the truth. This is the truth. So, I mean, anybody's entitled to have a perspective, but you got to understand when you debating truth, that's the difference. Y'all, it's been 2 hours and 10 minutes, man. That's our time. That's our time. Every time I do this, man, I go down here and I show y'all this, man. I really do want to be streaming from down here, man. But, man, I'm telling you, my boy, like, it be raining. It been raining in Michigan, which I ain't complaining, y'all, because it is August the 19th. I am not used to this. And I have on a sweater. A full sweater. August the 20th, excuse me. A sweater. Like real talk. Like what time it is in a day. Y'all know it ain't that early in the day. What it is, about 9 o'clock in the day? You go to Texas and put a sweater on, or Mississippi with a sweater on. That's where I'm from at 9 in the morning at this time of year. Boy, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna lock you up for being crazy. They gonna lock you up because you're gonna pass out. It's too hot. But man, I'm out here in this park, man. It's gorgeous out here, man. You know what I'm saying? For all of y'all who watching this, y'all saying I love power. Power love me too. Am I right or wrong? Power love me too. You see what I'm saying? So look, for all of these people who are watching this, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's saying that I love power, or somebody using me. I don't care what you say. I'm an American citizen. I'm going to serve my country. You feel what I'm saying? Big President T, he going to have to bless me anyway. You feel me? But why wouldn't I serve my country or help my government or help if I could have some knowledge to? That's crazy as on. Like I'm going to be an enemy of America. I'm not no enemy of America. I'm an enemy of the people who disobey the law. Whether you disobey the law or not, you making that conscious choice. So you making yourself an enemy of me. Because I'm supporting and defending U.S. law. Man, anyway, man, down here, man, at the lake, man. Look, if this was the heart of the summer, bro, I couldn't show you guys this stuff like this, or I could, but it'd be a whole lot of people out here. But right now, man, it's kind of like I got the whole lake to myself. Not really, because the people up there playing tennis and stuff. They were listening to the podcast the whole time. Don't tell nobody. I ain't gonna charge them for it. No, I'm just playing, y'all. You see how gorgeous it is down here. You see that girl down there with her baby taking them to the beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just out here chilling, man. That's what they doing, man. Look, you can see over there at the lake, like those lake houses, like on that other side. Like on this road, they got 2 lakes, man. Michigan. I thought Minnesota was the land of 1,000 lakes, bro. I'm talking about they got 3 lakes together, but on this road is 2 lakes. And I'm talking about they right across the street from each other. So I left Lake Michigan to come to a city in Michigan with 2 lakes on the same road. Bro, I love it though. Man, you know what I'm saying? Bro, with the Legal Wars Live, man, that's what I've been doing, man. I just bring y'all content like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you think about it this year, 90 days in Texas, okay? 90 days in Mississippi, 7 days in North Carolina, 20 days in Tennessee, 4 days in Illinois and Indiana, and then 11 days in Michigan. That's the content I brought y'all this year. So it's like every single time I'm streaming, even when I was in Biloxi, I wasn't as outdoors as I should have been. I should have been streaming outdoors from the beach then. You see what I'm saying? Because look, say Seth Rogen, he probably travels more than anybody you know doing podcasts. You know? Or some rich podcaster. But I'm saying if they just in the studio, it's like the experience, they're not sharing it as much with the fans. But when I come out here and say that, hey, y'all, I'm from Mississippi, or hey, y'all, I'm from such and such and so, and I'm out here, man. I'm from Texas. This ain't Texas, baby. This Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Minnesota. This Michigan. Man, that being said, man, I want to go ahead and get off, man. I just want to say, man, anytime you in life and you might be facing a situation that's bigger than you, the way I deal with that is I turn to God. 10 out of 10 times, man, I turn to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Christian. I believe Jesus suffered, bled, and died on the cross to save your soul from hell. I don't think you need to join a church. You need to join any organization. All you have to do is pray to God and let God know that you accept Jesus' death as payment for your sins. You have to accept his blood, his sacrifice washes away your sins. You see what I'm saying? And you have to let God know that, ask God for forgiveness. You have to repent for your sins, and you have to believe that he saved you. That's how I believe you go to heaven. I don't believe you have to do good works. I don't think you have to be a part of a church. I don't think you have to listen to a preacher to go to heaven. You see what I'm saying? I think you just have to believe in Christ. You have to accept Christ and repent of your sins. And that's how you get saved. Once you get saved, God gives us a book with 66 books in it. and you could live by that book, bro, you could go to heaven without ever stepping a foot in the church. You don't believe me? I'm going to say that one more time. Because, see, I got a mind that could think and say these kind of things because I understand what I'm saying. You could go to heaven without ever stepping a foot in church. You don't believe me? You think the first person God took in heaven, did he ever step a foot in the church? I'm going to listen to you. See, that's how you arguing with me. You can't make a living arguing against me. That's what you're going to learn. You could go grab 1 million people, bro. You went and grabbed the attorney. You cannot beat this dude doing nothing that he got to talk or put something on paper. You're not going to beat him. You might get a temporary win. You're not going to beat him, bro. My mind's somewhere different. You don't never have to step a foot to go to heaven. The thief on the cross. Now, I wouldn't advise that you do that. God said, do not forsake the assembling of yourselves together. So once you become a Christian, I'm going to point you towards the church in your community. But what I'm telling you is this is salvation. I try to give people salvation. They equate salvation with a man that's not Jesus. Listen to me. Get you some knowledge. They're equating salvation with a man that's not Jesus, bro. Come on. They equate salvation with a building. A preacher, if he was a right preacher, he gonna break this down to you better than I can. I'm not no preacher. I just understand things and I spread knowledge, man. You become a Christian, man, by accepting Jesus, nothing else. You don't have to accept Jesus, the church, your mom and your dad. You gotta accept Jesus in that blood, and that's it, boy. You gotta get you a relationship with God. Man, I love y'all, man. Y'all tapped in with your boy, Big Ghostwriter here, man. You know what I'm saying? Standing 10, loving my country, America, the beautiful America first, man, all of that. All my military veterans stand up, man. We salute the flag. Stay salute the flag. We stay saluting the flag. You feel me? That's point blank period, bro. That's blood in, blood out. The land of your home. This is my homeland, bro. You know what I'm saying? But all the knuckleheads in my homeland that ain't doing the right thing, I'm looking for you, boy. I'm going to slap you with that U.S. law. Who want to get slapped with the U.S. law? Man, I'm just playing with y'all, man. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming out and y'all showing up. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's legal wars, man. You feel me? On the road with your boy Ghostwriter, man, we're going to be going live like almost every single day. You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon I need to, I've been in Michigan for a long time. Well, you know, for me, 2 weeks, I need to bring content from different areas, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got to, we got to get, you know what I'm saying? Some more participation, I would say, from the fans. I want to grow the channel like we did in March when I had 63 channel members. I added 63 channel members in a month. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do that right now. We need to grow this channel. I need membership like that. And when we grow it and build it again, I'll just take it all away. Like, I got the computer right here, bro. Like, we ready. You see what I'm saying? We all the way ready. I did a live stream from this computer before. A girl came on who always donate, but then I deleted it because of the screen sharing. So I'm saying I'm ready to do it. The only thing that's stopping me is the channel membership. I need to see that channel membership rising. And then when that channel membership rising, I'm going to just zoom on behind it. Man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. So I'll tell y'all this. Tuesdays and Saturdays is what I schedule stream. Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern and Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. Here it is. Wednesday, I got another story, so I'll probably stream on Thursday. I'm going to have to take a day on Friday and then stream on Saturday, bro. Yesterday, I did like a fan appreciation stream. I think, I'm not even sure, bro. I'm losing count what day. It might have been Monday. I did a fan appreciation stream. It was like a 4-hour stream, man. You know what I'm saying? I streamed 2 hours. I would stream longer with you guys, but I got some legal documents to do. So that being said, like I said, man, I told you how I become a Christian. Anytime I get in a situation that's bigger than me, I don't fight it. You say, Ghost, you a fighter? Nah, I don't fight it. I take that situation and I lay it at the feet of God. Because if it's bigger than me, I can't beat it. But God can. Ain't nothing bigger than my God. I give it to God, man. I start my day every day being thankful. There ain't nothing you could do to me or playing against me that's going to stop me from being thankful. I'ma just smack you in your mouth. You just you gonna get smacked in your mouth. But I'ma still be thankful, man. I wake up every day thankful to the Lord, man. Every day. People come at me 1,000 ways. I don't do nothing to them, bro. Dudes don't like me. I don't know why. I can't help it. I ain't did nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? But through all of that, I'm thankful, bro. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Anytime I get in that situation, I'm thankful, and I gave the situation to God. What else is there to do, Ghostwriter? Every day I wake up. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. By saying that, I'm letting the enemy know. I'm letting Satan know, bro, there's nothing you could do. You could keep trying. I'ma smack him. I smack the devil in his mouth all the time. I said this yesterday too. God talk about two angels in the Bible. He talk about one angel, and that angel playing a harp. His name is Gabriel. And he talk about another angel, and that angel got a sword. He the archangel, and his name is Michael. And I'm saying if I was with one of them two angels, I'm going to be with that archangel with that sword. I'm a fighter. You see what I'm saying? But even though me fighting, you know, me being a fighter, like I'm able to withstand more stuff probably than the average person, but still me being a fighter, I got feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? I still get my feelings hurt and everything. I still got problems, anxiety, got to deal with depression. That's what I'm saying. How I do that is I'm thankful to God, number one. And any problem I get, I don't keep the problem. I got a million problems right now. Every time a problem I don't think I could solve, I promise you, by laying it at God's feet, that means I done got on my knees and I done prayed and believed with my heart and asked him. See, I done seen God answer my prayers before, boy. If you ain't got that faith, you ain't never seen him answer your prayers, you ain't going to believe. You will never accomplish nothing, and you will never be great if you cannot believe. How you think people built this right here? When they first came out here, it was nothing but woods. They had a vision for this park. They had a vision, and they built this park because they believed they could do it. If they came out to this park and it was nothing but woods, and they didn't believe they could do it, it wouldn't have never got done. The first way to do anything is to believe. Y'all, that's my time, man. I'm out of here, man. I swear on everything I love, every last one of y'all, even the little haters that I be seeing the haters, I be sidestepping you, bro, because I ain't trying to sit there and be discussing with you. And what the content I'm talking about is that important. You see what I'm saying? That's a real problem President Trump has with Russia and with Israel. And he trying to end both of them wars, and he trying working. I'm talking about this is your government that is 1,000% invested in ending them wars. That's what I'm talking about. So why I'm be talking about I'm some little goofy person in the stream. Man, look, we could do it tomorrow though, man. Like, look, I promise out of the 1 or the 2 days, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna do a news story. I just do like, you know, where we could do viewer's choice, but like when I do that, YouTube ain't gonna put nobody in the stream. Cause they not, I mean, they don't like, it's just me talking about, but if I'm talking about something like, they're gonna direct traffic to the stream if you talking about some newsworthy stuff with some good analysis and some good news. But we'll do that, man. Viewer's choice, man. That's my time. Like I said, I love every last one of y'all. I thank y'all for showing up. If y'all watch this after it was recorded, make sure you double tap that screen. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can't get in the live chat now. You can leave a comment and you can leave a donation. I'll see y'all early in the morning, man. Lord willing, man. Y'all have a great day and enjoy yourselves, bro. I'm out.